What's going on YouTube? In today's video, we are going to be discussing the best way to push every single trophy road brawler. These are all brawlers that you get for free through natural progression in the game. So whether you're a new player or an old player, we've got the right maps and modes for all the brawlers that you need to know how to push and that we all have. Be sure to like and subscribe if you can down below. It goes a long way and it helps the channel a ton. Let me know what your favorite common brawler is, and with that being said, we will hop right on into the video. All right, hopping into the very first brawler you get in the game, we have Shelly. Now, Shelly is not in the best of places right now in Brawl Stars. It's no secret that Shelly has not been meta for a long time, and despite more recent buffs in the history of Brawl Stars, she's still really not that great. Definitely one of the more difficult brawlers to push at this time, so your best bet is going to be playing maps like Sneaky Fields and Center Stage. You're going to want to pick Brawl Ball maps like this. That would be her best mode probably right now. Can't really see her being very viable in any other modes, but you're going to want to pick Brawl Ball maps like those that have a lot of tanks, a lot of grass to hide in, and you're going to try and sneak up on those enemies and take advantage of your shotgun blasts. The more open a map is, the more Shelly's going to struggle, as she doesn't have a lot of long range unless you run that gadget, but you can only use it 3 times, and it still doesn't really make her that great of a brawler. You might as well just run some snipers at that point. So with that being said, Shelly, not the best state right now, but maps like Sneaky Fields where you can take out a lot of tanks, cycle that super, and just try and do your best with Shelly, but that's going to be your best bet. Moving into our next brawler. Alright, hopping into brawler number 2, we have Nita. Now, Nita is not the best in a lot of people's competitive Brawl Stars tier list. She's not used a lot by professional players, and you won't see her a lot in monthly finals, but on ladder, you can definitely get away with using Nita. Nita's best mode overall is going to be Brawl Ball at this time. You've got maps like Triple Dribble, Pinhole Punt, and my favorite, Super Stadium, to run Nita on. She's not a good mid, but you're going to want to run her on the lanes on the left or the right side. On Super Stadium, I love running her on that right side with that wall. You can slowly push up and do really well against other lanes that are single shot brawlers. Nita's not one that you can be too overly aggressive with. You want to play it a little passive aggressive. Make sure you're holding your lane, staying alive, charging up shots so you can get that bear, and it'll help you deal with a lot of brawlers that don't do well into spawners. A lot of single shot brawlers that can only focus on one at a time, don't do a lot of splash damage, is where Nita's going to kick in. You're going to want to run that gadget that gives her the shield for her bear. And other than that, you should be good to go on maps like that. Not the hardest brawler in the world to push, especially compared to some of the other ones on this list. Also can run Nita on Heist too. It's totally fine. You can probably get away with it depending on your skill level and how comfortable you are with Nita. Definitely going to want to run Hyper Bear on those maps though. Make sure you're getting that extra value on the safe when you're doing damage. But yeah, with that being said, we will hop into our next brawler. Alright, hopping into our third brawler on Trophy Road, we have Colt. Now, Colt's best mode right now is going to be Heist. You're going to want to run him on maps like Bridge Too Far, Safe Zone, and Hot Potato. All those are great options because you've got Colt's Silver Bullet gadget, which is able to open up walls, help your other long-range teammates out, and set yourselves up for damage on the Heist safe, or just set yourselves up to get some nice positioning and lay out some good shots for your teammate. If you're feeling bold, got a group of buddies that you're playing Brawl Stars with, a competitive strategy that is sometimes used is to combine B and Colt and have that long-range synergy. Colt opening up the map, B being a great long-range brawler on maps like Split, and other hot zone maps like Dueling Beetles, where your teammates are basically long-range brawlers. You'll tear open the map and play against brawlers that are more short-range. Surprise to the team, you get some free trophies that way too if you're feeling bold, but nothing wrong with just running some Heist, getting those wins with Colt. With that being said, we will move on to the next brawler on Trophy Road. Alright, hopping into our next brawler on Trophy Road, we have Bull. Bull's is pretty simple. I think Heist is the best way in general to go with him. He does a lot of safe damage. Pretty tankier brawler. Make sure you get on that safe, do the damage, and then get out, do it all over again. That's kind of the best way to go with Bull right now. Not the strongest brawler in the world right now. Brawl Ball, a lot of good options for him there too. Can definitely get away with it with the Stomper gadget. And if you've got buddies to run with, maybe trying the double tank combos, running Poco, Bull, and then another tank, or just pairing yourself with a Byron since he's really strong right now, and doing your best as a tank trying to get that extra HP for yourself. Might be the best way to go. I think overall the safest bet, especially if you're doing it with randoms, is Heist though, for all that safe damage you can get. With that being said, we will move on to the next brawler. Next up, we have Jessie. Now, Jessie's best mode right now is going to be Hot Zone, particularly the maps Dueling Beetles and Parallel Plays. Reason for this is Jessie does a really good job along with her turret to get a lot of control of the map. You can place it against walls, have it angled to where it'll shoot the enemy brawlers, and help you keep possession of the area that your team is trying to win the game with. Gym Fort is another map that Jessie does really well on. She does as good as the mid with the little boxed-in area on Gym Fort. Her turret helps control the middle fenced-in area a lot, so she can definitely be used there too. But in general, Hot Zone is going to be the best way to go with Jessie. Moving on to our next brawler. All right, hopping into our next brawler, we have Brock, and the game plan is simple. Just play Brock. No, really, it's that easy. Since his most recent buff at max range, it is very difficult to dodge Brock's shot. It does a lot of damage, and the explosion radius from max range is huge right now. You can get away playing Brock on Backyard Bowl in Brawl Ball, Factory Rush and Bot Drop in Siege, Safe Zone in Heist, and many more maps. He's easily one of the best brawlers in the game. But if you want to know his best game mode, I would say it is Bounty. Bounty, he can run maps like Dry Season and Layer Cake, using his super and his gadget to blow up enemy walls and really take advantage of squishier brawlers like Tick and Sprout that are common on those maps. You're going to want to open up the map so the longer range brawlers can counter those throwers who will not do well if there are no walls. He's one of the strongest brawlers in the game, and honestly, you can't go wrong. With that being said, we will hop into our next brawler. All right, next up, we have a fan favorite. We have Dynamite. Now, Dynamite's best mode, I go back and forth on. I really think he can get away with two different modes. My instincts would say Heist, because he can do a lot of safe damage. Hot Potato and Pit Stop are going to be a couple maps that he does super well on. He can use his positioning behind walls to really deal damage to the safe and enemy brawlers and take advantage of positioning that way. But also, there are definitely some Brawl Ball maps you can get away with for Dynamite. Call it Triple Dribble, Pinhole Punt, Pinball Dreams. If you're a Dyna jumper and you're really good at it, Brawl Ball's probably the way to go for Dyna. But if not, nothing wrong with getting some Heist safe damage in there, getting yourself some free trophies that way. Dyna's a lot of fun. Either or works. And with that being said, we will hop into our next brawler. Next up, we have Bo. And unfortunately, Bo's just not great right now. He's pretty bad. But I love Bo. I wish he was good at the game, but he's just not. There was a time where he was super meta because of his totem, but they nerfed that thing to the ground. And I know he recently got a buff, but even with that damage increase, he still doesn't really have a place in this meta. If I had to take a stab at where Bo would be best, I would say being a gym grab mid, you can use the mines to cover up the mid area, make it more difficult for your team to grab mines. Early on in trophies too, players really struggle to dodge Bo's mines, so early on in trophies, you can definitely get away with Bo. Solid brawler early on, just like a lot of other brawlers. But as you get higher up in the trophy range, it gets really difficult to play Bo. I would say being a mid for gym grab is your best bet. Bo, I love you. Please come into the meta soon. But in the meantime, it's going to be a struggle to push the guy. Sorry. Next up, we have Tick. Now, Tick's best mode right now is definitely going to be Bounty. Maps like Dry Season and Layer Cake are two of the better maps for Tick because he can hide behind those walls, deal damage to the enemies, and really keep himself protected. There's a lot of aggressive brawlers in the meta right now, like Mortis, so you're going to have to be really careful. Use your gadget sparingly to protect yourself and to bounce close-range brawlers away from you, and also make sure to use that super on brawlers like that to keep them away from you. If you do that, stay behind walls, deal damage safely, and just keep your space, you're going to be just fine as a Tick. Moving on to our next brawler. Next up, we have 8-Bit. And 8-Bit's best mode right now is going to be Gym Grab. You're going to want to play 8-Bit on open maps with really long range so you can take advantage of 8-Bit's shot and being a longer range brawler in general. You're going to want to play him on Undermine, Crystal Arcade, Hard Rock Mine, any of those maps where you can take advantage of being a great mid, doing some damage from afar, and make sure you're putting your super behind your own walls so that way you can use the teleporting gadget to collect those gems, and if you get in a tough spot, you can teleport away safely without losing those gems and bringing them back to your team's side. Another map he does randomly well with is Backyard Bowl. That being said, we will hop into our next brawler. Next up, we have Ems. Now, Ems' best mode overall, I think, is Brawl Ball. Similar to Shelly, you're going to want to play Ems against a lot of tankier brawlers on center stage, sneaky fields, and really take advantage of those tank matchups with Ems counters so hard. If you got buddies with you too, I recommend pairing Ems with the synergy of Max, the speed, and Ems combined. If you have an Ems super, it does super well. You get so much area control of the map, and in addition, with Ems' decently long range and area control combined with the speed, you can get to just about any brawler and dish out some serious damage. Also, early on in trophy ladder, you can do well on heist as well. She does a ton of safe damage. So if you're really low on trophies for Ims, you can definitely push her on heist too. Either or works. And now we will hop into our final brawler on trophy road. Alright, last but certainly not least, we have Stu. Now, since being introduced to the game, Stu has been a great brawler to use. In competitive, he's used in a lot of different places, actually. There's really no map or mode I would really limit Stu to. I think he can do well just about anywhere. I wouldn't recommend him in Bounty, but pretty much any other game mode, you can definitely get away with Stu. Some of my favorite maps to run Stu are Pinball Dreams, which is a Brawl Ball map, Dueling Beetles, which is a Hot Zone map, and Pit Stop, which is a heist map. Use that wall break gadget into throwers like Barley or Dinah, or you can have some flexibility and run that speed turret as well and cover up a lot of the map. Honestly though, wherever you run Stu, as long as it's not Bounty, you're probably winning the game and doing pretty well for yourself. With that being said, that wraps up Trophy Road. Alright, that about wraps it up for this video. Let me know how successful you all are able to push your common trophy brawlers this season. If you want to watch me live, check me out on twitch.tv/kungfukenny_32. We're live 3 to 4 times a week. Socials with the same handle as well. And a like and subscribe would go a long way to help the channel grow. And with that being said, we will see you all in the next video.